Hello everyone, good day for all. Welcome back to Ayursamveda, a smart way to Ayurveda. We have already done a video on course curriculum for first professional BAMS updated by NCISM. If you have not watched that video, please click the I button to access it. Today we are going to discuss about the course curriculum for first professional BAMS on the subject Padartha Vijnana. Please subscribe to my channel and enable the bell button for more related contents. Telegram and Instagram links are provided in the description. Please follow for more updates in Ayurvedic studies. As already mentioned, we are going to discuss about the course curriculum for first professional BAMS regarding the subject Padartha Vijnana. This Padartha Vijnanam contains the topics which are like fundamental principles of Ayurveda and quantum mechanics. So, Padartha Vijnana is a unique and mandatory subject needed for learning the stream of Ayurveda. It is the combination of science and philosophy. It not only provides the platform to understand Ayurveda better, but it also helps the students to appreciate the moral values, beneficiating them in developing the personality. This syllabus reform of Padartha Vijnana has taken care of adopting the modern teaching learning methodology well merged with the ancient one. This will definitely enhance the understanding of the subject in a better way. Introduction of practicals is the zest of this subject. Here in this syllabus, the activity book is introduced to induce the activity based learning. There are some self-learning activities also which will induce the thirst for the knowledge of the student related to the subject Padartha Vijnana. The course learning outcomes of Padartha Vijnana. It illustrates the scope and utility of Ayurveda in the students. The student will be able to explain the philosophical foundation of Ayurveda, principles of Darshana along with their similarities and relevance in Ayurveda and contemporary sciences. Also, it will help analyze and interpret Padartha in Darshana and Ayurveda and also recognize their applications in Ayurveda. The student will be able to distinguish, analyze and apply the concept of Pramana Shastra in Darshana and Ayurveda and also demonstrating their applications in Ayurveda. The student will be able to analyze and apply the concept of Karya Karana Bhava in Ayurveda. Next is the contents of course of Ayurveda Padartha Vijnana. So, it consists of two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. So, the term-wise distribution has been given. So, from the paper 1, in term 1, Ayurveda Nirupana and Padartha and Darshana Nirupana are the topics to be covered. From paper 1, in term 2, Dravya Vijnaniya, Guna Vijnaniya and Karma Vijnaniya has to be covered. And from paper 1, in term 3, Samanya Vijnaniyam, Vishesha Vijnaniyam, Samavaya Vijnaniyam and Abhava Vijnaniyam has to be covered. And from paper 2, in term 1, Pariksha and Aptopadesha Pariksha or Pramana are the topics to be covered. In term 2, from paper 2, Pratyaksha Pariksha or Pramana and Anumana Pariksha or Pramana has to be covered. And in term 3, Yukti Pariksha or Pramana, Upamana Pramana and Karya Karana Siddhanta are the topics to be covered from paper 2. The practicals has been introduced for the Padartha Vijnana subject. So, the marks will be 100 marks for practicals and 45 hours are allotted for this practicals including non-lecture hours. So, the list of practicals which has to be conducted for each topic from paper 1 and paper 2 has been mentioned. So, in the term 1, the practicals which has to be conducted are from the topic Ayurveda Nirupana, Ayurveda perception identification, that is surveys can be conducted, and identification of characters of Hitayu, Sukhayu in healthy individuals can be done. From the topic Padartha and Darshana Nirupana, activity book based on the discussions on Darshanas has to be done. And from the topic Dravya Vijnaniya, identification of Guna and Karma, Panchabhaudika nature identification, determination of directions, conceptualize time, categorization of Aushati Dravya by dominance of Mahabhuta, and early clinical exposure, that is visiting the OPD and find the diseases which are common to each age group has to be done. Next is in the term 2, the practicals which has to be conducted from the topic Guna, Identification of Sartha Guna, application and demonstration, that is find the different therapies based on the 5 Sartha Gunas, observe or experience or study or read or any book or articles present on any one of the theories such as aromatherapy or Gandha Chikilsa, music therapy or Mantra Chikilsa related to Shabda Guna or Sparsha Gunas, that is touch therapy, etc. Identifying the Gurvadi Guna in any 5 Ahara Dravyas and in Sharira Dravyas, and comparison of Gurvadi Gunas and correlating it with the concepts which they have already learnt in physics, chemistry and biology. Observations or survey studies of the effects of seasons on Gurvadi Gunas in body, nature, etc. Paradi Guna and their application with different examples, and Atma Guna identification, that is making or framing the real life situations related to Atma Guna, that is Sukha, Dukkha, etc. Next, in term 2, the practicals related to karma topics are conceptualization, that is karma, its application in branch of Ashtanga Ayurveda, for example Panchakarma, Shastra Karmas, etc. For illustration, making a collage of pictures or photos depicting the 5 types of karma and their similarity with the concepts they have studied in physics, chemistry, etc. And in Pratyaksha Pramana, the observation note down the factors from Prakriti analysis which they can understand through the Pratyaksha, like color, dry skin, etc. Then identification, few identification marks for identification of herbs or minerals which need Pratyaksha Pramana. Then early clinical exposure, Pramana in examination of patient and diagnosis of the disease. Identification of the gunas which can be perceived by one sense organ or many sense organs, and demonstrate with the examples of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, etc. which we can understand by the Pratyaksha Pramana. Next, again in Pratyaksha Pramana limitations or Pratyaksha Vadaka Bhavas, the practicals which can be done are observation related. Find out how we can overcome the limitations of Pratyaksha by advances in the technologies or equipments like microscope, telescope, etc. And justification of use of various equipments in examination of the patient and diagnosis of the diseases like X-ray, USG, etc. And again in term 2, the practicals related to Anumana Pramana, application of Anumana Pramana in real life situation, and giving 3 examples of Vyapti from real life. Find and explain 5 examples of Anumana Pramana as per the different types of Anumana. Writing 3 examples of Panchavaya Vakya and correlating it with the practicals which they have already done previously, and examples of Hetva Bhasa, and study the use of inferences in various other sciences. Next is the practical list for the term 3. The topics of term 3 include Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta. So the practical related to Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta, identification, visit the Vanaushadhi Udyana or the herbal garden of the college and finding the Samanyata and Visheshata among the plants. Illustration, making a chart of food articles and activities to illustrate the relationship of Samanya Vishesha with the Dosha Dhatu Malas. And application level, making a list or collecting the seasonal vegetables and fruits which are having the Samanya or Vishesha with the doshas. And next is Samavaya, conceptualization, for that mentioning 5 real life examples of Nitya and Anitya Sambandha. From the Abhava topic, application of Abhava, that is writing 5 real experiences of Prag Abhava, Pradvamsa Abhava, Atyanta Abhava and Anyonya Abhava. And from Upamana Pramana, the practicals include illustration of Upamana Pramana in practical life or with their prior learning, that is from examples from Ashtanga Hridaya or Charaka Samhita, and also from other sciences like physics, chemistry, etc. can also be taken. Then comes the Yukti Pramana, the practicals related to Yukti Pramana. For that conceptualization, how the various factors will be influencing the process of decision making can be done. Application level, writing 5 examples of Yukti in practical life or with their prior learning. And early exposure, clinical exposure, that is role of Yukti in Sharira, Nidana, Chikilsa and Anusandhana. and Satkaryavada and other Vadas for the justification of Parinamavada, describing 3 real life experiences or their prior learning examples from physics, chemistry, etc. Justification of Satkaryavada, justification of Swabhavoparamavada, Pagajotpatti Siddhanta, etc. and also the justification of Arambhavada. For all these, they can describe using 3 real life examples or with their prior learning examples. So these are the list of practicals for the Padartha Vijnana subject in topic wise in each term. And again in term 3, the practicals related to cause and effect theory has also been mentioned. So for that illustration purpose, Karya Karana Bhava can be taken. They have to write the Samavayi, Asamavayi and Nimitta Karana of a Karya in real life examples. Examples which they have learned in physics, chemistry, biology can be taken. For finding out the cause and effect theory in other sciences can be done. Then schematic representation of cause effect in any examples can be done, and application level, the assessing the 10 factors of Charagokta Karya Karana Bhava regarding any task and considering that task as the Karya, and remembering and writing the theories of evolution that the students have already studied other than this syllabus of Padartha Vijnana. Next, in general, for the practicals of Padartha Vijnana, the students can be involved in different activities such as oral presentation on allotted topic, or PPT slides can be prepared by the students and that slides can be copied in their activity book. For this practicals, the students has to be provided with the practical activity book. So they have to record all these activities which they have done. And quiz can be done for participation of all students in the quiz on some topics of Padartha Vijnana. The recitation of important shlokas from Padartha Vijnana every day or alternate days, and they have to record in that diary. And each student has to do pick and speak topics on topics of Padartha Vijnana. E-charts, animations, etc. can be done by the students in the practical hours. Next is the total number of teaching hours for Padartha Vijnana subject is 230 hours, and it includes lecture hours for theory and practicals and non-lecture hours also. So paper 1 and paper 2 will be carrying 45 hours of lecture hours, thus total 90 hours, and for non-lecture hours theory paper 1 70 hours and paper 2 70 hours, thus 140 hours are allotted. Thus total lecture and non-lecture hours will be carrying 230 hours for Padartha Vijnana. Next is examination, that papers and mark distribution. Padartha Vijnana consists of 2 papers carrying 100 marks each, thus making theory component 200 marks. So paper 1 and paper 2 will be having 100 marks each. Then the practical components, practical will be having 100 marks, Viva 60 marks, electives 10 marks and internal assessment 30 marks, thus making it a total of 200 marks for the practical component marks. Thus the theory and practicals together it will make 400 marks paper. Next is the paper layout. As already we have seen in Samhita Adhyayana, the question paper pattern will be changing for this batch. So there will be multiple choice questions having 20 questions carrying 1 mark each, that is total 20 marks. Then short answer questions, 8 questions having 5 marks each, thus 40 marks. And long answer questions, 4 questions carrying 10 marks each, thus 40 marks. So this pattern will be same as in paper 1 and paper 2. Next is the distribution of practical examination. So practical examination, the practical will be there for 100 marks, Viva for 60 marks, elective for 10 marks and internal assessment for 30 marks. Thus total 200 marks is there for practicals. So first is the practical, total 100 marks practical is there. In that the practicals which can be done are divided as follows. Sporting, that is 4 sporting has to be given, that is problem based on principles of Padartha Vijnana. So the topics can be taken like as Pratiksha Pramana or Pratiksha Badagara Bhavas, Vada, any one of the Vadas, or Abhava or Samavaya, Upamana or Yukti, etc. That will be, the sporting will be carrying 20 marks. And then journal of activity book or projects, already it has been mentioned that activity book will be provided and the students has to record what all practicals they have done in that activity book. So based on the activity book or the projects whatever they have done, viva will be done, and for that 20 marks is allotted, and the practical will be there. For that 10 marks each, 3 practicals will be there, thus 30 marks. For example, identifying the Panchamahabhuta dominance in the given dravya, or identifying the Samanya Vishesha in the given dravyas, or identifying the Guna in the given dravyas. Such different questions can be given for the practicals, and 3 questions having 10 marks each will be should be asked in the practicals. So this is how the practicals will be carrying 100 marks. Then again the practical problem based questions or situations are there, that also will be carrying 30 marks. So in that they have to identify and explain the karya karana, the types in given problem, or frame and write the Panchavaya Vakya for the given Anumana, or identifying the Vyapti, Paksha, Sadhya, Hedu, Paksha Dharmada, etc. Identify and explain the Hetva Bhasa with given examples, and identifying the Vada applicable in the given examples, or identifying the Upama, Saknya, Sakni, Sambandha, etc. in the given examples. So such way the practicals can be done from the paper 2. So that also will be carrying 30 marks. Next is regarding the Viva Voce. So Viva Voce will be carrying of 60 marks, and the mark distributions are like recitation of the shloka, that is sutras in Tarka Sangraha, Samhitas and other textbooks which are related to Padartha Vijnana, 10 marks. Questions on Darshana, 10 marks. Questions on Dravya, Guna and Karma, carrying 10 marks. Questions of Samanya Vishesha Samavaya or Abhava, 10 marks. Questions on one Pramana, 10 marks, and questions on Karya Karana Bhava, 10 marks. And internal assessment 30 marks, and electives 10 marks. Thus total 200 marks is allotted for the practicals. So 100 marks for the practicals and 100 marks for the Viva, internal assessment and electives. This is the total course curriculum which is being updated by NCISM for the subject Padartha Vijnana. Today we have discussed the course curriculum for first professional BAMS on the subject Padartha Vijnana. We will be coming back with the other subjects in the upcoming videos. For more updates, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you in the next video. Till then, bye.